McDonald Sports Design Group.
The low bidder was a company called Hellas Construction. They came in, I think at 1.134 million, which was under budget, and then they had some alternates as well for your consideration. And they also did add some value engineering, which I discussed with them, which I find doesn't put the quality of the job at risk by any means. So, you know, I would suggest probably taking those if you wanted to. So there's some savings there as well. And then they also offered to throw in to redo your tennis courts, the surfacing there, which is a very good number to do that. Just kind of a little added extra bonus to be happy with the choice in there.
I make a motion we approve Hellas as our contract.
I second. Mr. Starbird made a motion. Mr. Rowland made a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All hands raised, motion carries. Hellas is here.
I make a motion we accept all the alternatives as proposed on 8.4. As is.
All right, Mr. Starbird made a motion. Need a second?
Mike had a comment.
No. Yeah, I don't know, I'll second it.
Huh?
I'll second it.
Mr. Alcorn,
Well,
second.
but you were saying we ought to go to 30 or not?
Well, that's just,
$4,000. That's a good price, is that right? We go from 20 to 30, about another 4,000.
I mean, that's just an insurance policy as far as, and I'm like Richard, and all of my engineering background, I kind of overdid stuff, so when I went home at night, I knew I could lay down and sleep, and I didn't have to worry about it, so.
And before y'all vote on it, I did want to tell you that there is not a contingency built in. There's no contingency built in here. And so like I said, that usually 5 to 7%. And Sandra, what's that, 7%?
What is it, yeah? It's been about 90,000. 89. Hopefully, we wouldn't have to use that, but we want to be prepared if we need it.
But, in my opinion, $4,000 is pretty cheap insurance policy.
Okay, I'll amend my proposal. We go with the way it is written, except for change it to 30 bills.
30 million instead of 20.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Starbird, you made a motion and amendment. Need a second?
Second.
You second, Mr. Alcorn? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. All hands raised, motion carries.
You've got your disbursements that are greater than 10,000 on page 8. And the only one that I think is kind of maybe something you're not used to seeing in there is the Buck Terrell Athletics, and that's where we have the high jump and the long jump and all those pits refurbished, because they were just really a piece of foam that just was rotten. It really was, and they refurbished them and recovered them for that. That was something that we would have needed to do for a while. So then the page 9 starts your disbursements. And if there's any questions, we'll answer those.
On the first page, page 9, about halfway down, that Kinserv. We're still.
Well, what I was told, why that second bill is as much as it is in 1928 is because there was a wax and a stripper that was ordered. And I know our custodians prefer the stripper, especially for Kinserv.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure when it's coming right at that time of the year, because they usually wax it. I think some do some at Christmas, but the majority of that is done in summer. And knowing custodians, they're probably putting that where they can put their hands on it on June the 1st.
That's what.
They're getting ready for it.
Okay.
I asked the same question, now why do we have a bill that's so much from Kinstar? And we normally have bills from Kinstar that just aren't that much, because there are certain products that they prefer, and we try to get them for them.
All right, page 11. I may be asking a dumb question, but I don't understand why we keep seeing some of these show up twice, like Architects and Mechanical. That's the second time it's shown up in. Is that's not a double payment, is it, or what's happening there?
See, when we actually made our agreement with them, it was last November. So, trying to think when they came and did their first inspection. Ricky, do you remember?
January.
So that would have been the first time we were billed?
Yes, ma'am.
Maurice, are you saying there's two, it's been here 2 times?
Yeah, Architects and Mechanical.
Uh-huh.
Are you talking about where it's listed 4 times over on the right side?
No, it just, it shows up twice, the
Where
same.
is it? Where is it?
Oh, you know what? There are double pages in here. I have mine folded back.
Okay.
If you'll look at 13 through 16,
Oh, yeah.
then those are double pages. I think the printer got jammed
You
and,
see, there's Kim's her. second
okay.
one.
Yeah.
If you'll just fold up pages 13 through 16, it'll be right.
Okay.
Because I had the same question, Maurice.
Yeah, okay, that'll clean all that up, and I knew it had to be a reason, but I
Yeah.
couldn't figure, I
Yeah,
kept seeing
that's
it,
it.
kept seeing it, and I marked it.
I meant to tell you all that. If you'll just fold 13 through 16, that's a double print there.
Okay. Billy Craig, Record Service on page 15.
And that's when we're working on the softball, we're working on the pole and the light. And one of the big trucks got stuck, and they said that was our responsibility. Remember, we talked through that.
How did that, we didn't contract the janitor.
No, we called and talked to them, and that's what Cheyenne Juicy, is it Cheyenne Juicy or that's here? Juicy? Cheyenne
Shine Electric.
Electric.
She said it was part of the contract.
It was.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been part of the contract, Did it say it in the contract that we were responsible for any,
We didn't actually have
Record
a
service?
contract. It was an
Against
agreement, but
quote.
it did not say, it was a quote, but it did not say that.
And it
But
said that,
she said that that's the way that always works, that's what she said.
and she said that, it did say in there something about they weren't responsible if,
toward the turf or
the field
anything.
was messed up and.
But we had to pay the $500, which Cheyenne Electric is the one that contracted the crane, wasn't it?
Yes. And we could have consulted our attorney, but then it would have probably cost $1,000.
You know,
I think we just gonna get smarter on who we're gonna hire next time.
it's costly every time you do it, see. On page 18, Tire King. Who is Tire King?
That's a tire company out of Avenue that does on-site work.
Said
and
mount tires on bus and,
I had that highlighted and I questioned it also. I was told that was bus 10. And I asked if that's done at Lone Star, what the price difference is. I was told it's the same price. You know, I'll just have to verify it myself to make sure.
okay. Page 22, 3/4 way down, Texas Filter Service. You know, I asked you about this not long ago, about why did the filter service go up? What have we changed?
Didn't we call them about that? I think they said it was just.
It has not
gone
gone
up.
up. It has not gone up. We pulled all of the invoices and, where's that?
Then being 855.
Let's see, where is it?
Texas, is it Texas?
Texas Filter Service, yeah.
It's on page 22, 3/4 way down.
Well, months and months. I mean, I put about 2 years of it, and it had not gone up in a while anyway.
It's been being 855. That's what I've been seeing is 855.
And you mean in the last few months, Maurice?
Yeah. I may have looked at it wrong now, but almost did. It was 855 for a good while, you know.
It might have been like, you know, at one time, but all last year, it was 223.75. And I'd have to go into the vault and get up.
Okay, it's no big deal, I just.
We actually pulled two prior years and it was there.
Okay.
So,
All right.
one thing is that, I think that maybe it was the way it was divided up. You know, it was just like that one month I showed you, and it was just divided up by 3 places, but it's a total, and they just put it on those different budget codes. And I think that maybe at one time there might have been some other budget code too that they, Lone Star was in there. That's probably what it is. It was divided up differently then.
Yeah, the Lone Star.
It was divided up 5 different ways instead of 4.
Okay, okay. Okay. Any more questions on the disbursement?
I want to go back to page 8, and what exactly did Buck Terrell Athletics do?
Yeah, what they did is our pole vault and high jump, both pits needed some refurbishing. They had a lot of waterlogged. I guess that's probably the least I can say about it, by being in that little room over here, that little shed. And so, last couple of years I've been trying to get those refurbished. We were thinking about just replacing the entire set, but that was the cheapest way to do it, was just refurbish them. And what they did was they went in, they took our foam and just resurfaced all of that, and then gave us some other covers to cover them. And what else did they do? Put our names on them. You know, just basically made it look brand new.
But
So they didn't do anything to the pit?
To the
Because it says pit on here, and that's the reason why I was asking.
Right, and if there's that phone pin.
no.
I don't know. It was
Maybe
like-
what it's called, is
Yeah.
it,
it's just a cushion.
is it called the foam
Cushions.
pit? Cushions.
Yeah, but we didn't
Ladies
do
turn
anything
cushions.
to the actual
Yeah.
pit.
Cushions for the pit.
They
Do
actually.
those
I just
still
want to
trace?
clarify that, because I didn't,
Do those
that's
still
not the way
trace?
it read. so-
Well-
Why not?
We need to do 8-2,
Oh,
the
yeah.
resource
Yeah.
officer.
Regarding
No.
school resource
Uh-uh.
officer?
And Martha also
That's
is
mine as well.
preparing that grant, so you want to speak
I've
on that?
I've already, this is just a resolution that you know I prepared the grant, and you're giving me permission, although I've already submitted it. Because I have to do things early, because I'm afraid of, but it was submitted already, and it's just permission saying that you know I'm submitting the grant for the resource officer.
Okay.
And this resolution has to be submitted to them by tomorrow.
Now, that meeting is gonna be after spring break, you
The
said?
meeting will be after spring break. Now, that's gonna be a different meeting. This is just for me to be able to write the grant. The meeting you're
Okay.
talking about that we'll have to have is for us to form our own police department.
All right.
And that'll be in the next meeting. I'll have that resolution ready for you.
Okay, A2, we need a motion.
I make a motion we approve Martha Mage to submit the grant.
Okay, Mr. Turner made a motion, need a second?
Second.
Mr. Roney made a second, all in favor, raise your right hand. 3
I don't know.
Okay. 6 ayes, 1 no.
Marie, did you raise your hand?
Mark, I want to ask a question.
Sure.
Will this grant cover the whole cost of it?
Yes, the grant is for, it's for $50,330.59. It'll include his,
No one ever said how much.
don't ever what?
How
I
much?
keep voting on this. You don't even know how much it is.
$50,339.
This is just to, write the grant though, correct?
Yes, this is just to write the grant.
Now you know how much it is, but we've already voted.
Miguel, if she, I mean, to do the resource officer, you'll have to approve it. And at that time, then we would have the figures for you, telling you what it would cost us. And if she gets the grant, how much the grant is and how much.
I understand that, but, you know, if the board was gonna reject the grant, the board shouldn't have applied for the grant to start with, or the district shouldn't apply for the grant to start with, because you're knocking other agencies out of this money that would accept the grant, so. We just didn't have the dollar amount when we voted, so.
Now what? Maybe I'll tell me that again.
If the board, Lisa, did you just not say that the board would do what?
Well,
On that?
I mean, we won't hire him as the school resource officer, as a school employee without the board approving it. This is just giving her approval to go ahead and
To write the
apply for the grant,
That's all this is giving us.
Then it would come back to us.
Then it'll come back to y'all
And you can say, well, we don't even, what he's saying is that if we decided we didn't want a resource officer, we've tied up the grant.
Exactly.
Now, if we said, no, we're not
But
gonna
we
use
had
it.
already decided that we were gonna keep the resource officer, and so this just gives us an option to,
You're tying up, if you reject the grant, you tied up the entire
Now,
process.
if we rejected it, it would go to the next one. It wouldn't be tied up with us.
See, that's what you're saying.
I've been involved in these grants, and these same kind of grants for a long time, and you tie up the process.
but we had already discussed, that we wanted a resource.
I just didn't have a dollar amount, so I didn't feel
Yes.
comfortable voting yes, so.
Okay, you still voting no on it, so. Okay. 6 yes, 1 no. Motion carried. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in motion closed session. Y'all excuse, please.
You passed a resolution, for us to talk to, the financing company, Government Capital, for the $800,000. And Lisa and I have talked about it, and we're gonna feel a lot more comfortable if we increase that to $900,000, especially in light of some of the things that you heard tonight. But it's gonna take a resolution to do that, so we're gonna have a short meeting sometime, and the sooner the better. When you're looking at what it's gonna mean to us, the difference in borrowing $800,000 or $900,000 over 5 years' time is $22,000 a year. So it's not a whole lot more each year, but it gives us some breathing room, so we can put that contingency in there, just in case something comes up that we don't feel comfortable taking out of fund balance. Okay, let's say 11, does that give us time to post it? It does, doesn't it? Okay, 11:30,
Be 5 of us.
okay, that's 11:30 on Tuesday the 3rd.
And all you have is a resolution, is what you plan on.
That's it.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all coming out tonight. And when y'all want to make a motion, or you
I
want to
make
make
a
a motion?
motion we adjourn.
Marie made it, Alan.
I'll get a motion.
Okay.
All right.
I hope you get.
Always.
Hey, something's going to happen, they'll be new things over there, are they? Coach?
You have kids here.